Good morning. It has been a few weeks since I recorded that last video, and things are getting settled around here. I'm starting to get used to living here. And those seagulls, sometimes I love them and sometimes I hate them. They are a noisy lot. I found somebody locally who has taught me a bit about how to harvest the honey from the bees. So I'm collecting their honey. They're actually really lovely creatures. I had no idea. And my greenhouse, I've got lettuce going in here and it's growing now. Check it out. Shouldn't be long before I can start harvesting it, and then that's one of the things I will need to feed some sheep. I am planning to do a couple things this month. The other grain crop that is on the other field that I bought on the other island is ready to harvest now. That's sorghum. So I need to get over there and harvest that grain. And I also want to get a baler over to that field that we harvested last month to bale the straw. And the grass field that I've got going down here for the sheep, that I would like to fertilize it so that I can make it as productive as I can. So, I don't know what order I'm going to do things in. I think right now I'm just going to try to get all of my equipment over to the other island, so there's plenty of time before the high tide cuts me off. So I'm going to take the harvester over there. Yeah, I'll get the harvester over there, and I'll get this trailer with this tractor, and maybe I'll go ahead and buy that baler. I spoke with the shop last month about what I needed, and it's going to be a very small baler whose bales are small enough that I can pick up and move them by hand, since I don't have any sort of like equipment that's able to move around heavy things. Of course, that is going to be a problem when I get to bringing stuff out of the greenhouses. I'll have to, we'll worry about that later. Anyway, I'm buying a small baler. They ordered it in from the mainland. It's still not new, but it's in good condition, and it should do what I need it to do. My needs are pretty small here. Pretty simple. So I'll get that equipment moved over to the other island, and then I will get into that harvest. See you in a little bit. Well, that was short and sweet. Based on how full that trailer is, I think that's less than half full. That might have been 2,500 liters of sorghum. That really wasn't much. I don't know if sorghum naturally yields less, or if this field wasn't very well taken care of. It's a lot less than those oats gave me, that's for sure. So it's interesting how, where the harvester is driven down, it's destroyed the stalks there, but in between it's still standing. That's funny. Alright, I guess I'll get the harvester taken back over to my yard. I'm done harvesting for the season. That was a lot of money for a piece of equipment that's now going to sit for a year. And then I'll get this taken back over with the grain. And the one at the shop said these sides come off and I can configure this to carry bales. So I'll take the sides off while I've got this at my yard at home and set it up for bales. And when I come back over here, I got my new baler sitting up over on the other field. Then I will just get in to start baling. So yeah, I guess the next time you'll see me, I will be starting to bale my straw. See you in a little bit. Okay, that is all set with the baling. So I've got the tractor. I took the baler back over to my main yard, and I started stacking these bales on this trailer. I've never used this before, so I just wanted to sort of see if I could fit them side by side or how I need to put them on here. And as you can see, this is a really clever design. I took off the sides, and now it's got these metal bars that sort of go through these latches or attachment points, and they will give sides to the trailer so my bales don't go flying everywhere. So I'm really happy with this purchase. Yeah, let me just get in here and start doing some picking up. This is going to take a while. So the plan, I would like to get the... I'm trying to figure out how to fit these on here. This is, they're not heavy. Not too heavy anyway, but they're a little bit awkward to work with. They're just kind of long and big, especially for me by myself. Okay. I want to get another fall crop into this field if I can, or the other field. I don't know which one's going to be more appropriate. I don't know which one's going to take less work. Let me put it that way. So I need to figure out what is going to need to happen on these fields. I'm not a farmer. I don't really know exactly how you turn around a field. I don't know if it just needs to be cultivated, or if I need to put lime down, or plow it to make it more productive. So I need to try to talk to the prior owner and see if they will tell me what they've been doing with this field. I guess I could get soil tests done, but that would take a while. And I don't want to wait until spring. I could put it in the other field instead, depending on what needs to happen here. But the other field, I think I would like to expand that if I end up having to do plowing anywhere. So that I'm getting a little bit more use out of that land. So yeah, the money situation. I'm down to 66,000, and I still need to buy a lot of basic farming equipment, like a cultivator and a plow and some sort of seeder. And I need to buy the equipment to do the grass work so that I can get the grass ready for the sheep. I guess I'll just move this a little bit so I'm not walking so far with these bales now. So I need to get like a mower and some sort of rower to row up the swaths, and then the blade tedder, because I think I was told the sheep like both grass and hay, so I need to be able to make all of that. This tractor, I don't know if you saw in the time lapse, it's not the most precise steering. It just sort of bounces all over the place. I'm constantly having to correct my direction, which is a little bit inconvenient. Yeah, so I need to buy all the grass work equipment and the farming equipment, and I don't think the money that I have left is going to go very far. And I also don't know when I'm going to have money coming in again. It's going to take a while to get going with the sheep and the chickens, I think, and the bees are producing honey, but I don't know when is the best time to sell that and how much they're going to produce. And I've got my greenhouse going with lettuce and tomatoes, but I don't know when is going to be a good time to sell those and how much I'm going to be able to grow before then. So I might just be a little bit broke for a while. I'm going to talk to the woman at the shop, the equipment dealer. She's really young, by the way. I don't know why someone so young is running a shop. Maybe it's not her shop. Maybe it's like a family connection or something. I don't know. Or maybe she's just a go-getter. Yeah, I shouldn't assume the worst just because she's young. Anyway, she sort of said that sometimes you can rent equipment, especially here on the island. There are a lot of farmers who have small holdings, and it's hard to get equipment onto the island, as I mentioned before. So sometimes the farmers here will let you sort of rent them from each other for a small fee to pay for the wear and tear and the loss of use of the equipment, especially if they're not using them at the moment when you need them. So I'm going to talk to her about what I might be able to rent and what I definitely have to buy. So we'll see. It probably makes sense to buy all the grasswork stuff, because I'm going to have to use that multiple times a year. No. But maybe I can get away with not buying the stuff for the field work just yet. A cultivator and a seeder. Although I guess I will have to prepare that other field for spring. I don't know. A lot to think about. Glad these bales are small enough to handle anyway. So I don't need yet another piece of equipment. Getting the equipment back and forth is a little bit inconvenient. Well, this bale trailer... I wish there was something closer. Maybe they're expecting you to have bigger bales on this thing. I might just have to stop here and strap these back ones down. Maybe I can get one more row on. We'll see. I'll give it a try. I do plan to do some exploring of the island, let you all get to see a little bit of it, and try to get to know some of the people who live here. And if anything notable comes up, share that in these videos. It's just I've been full out with the farm work, trying to get ready for the sheep, but I think I'm going to get into a slow period soon. So there should be more time for that other stuff. Let's see here. Alright, I think that'll do. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. The strap is sort of behind that rear bale. So yeah, that's good. I've been kind of avoiding it, but some of you are probably wondering why. Well, my friends know, and I imagine my friends are mostly the people who are watching these videos. But if you don't know who I am, you might be wondering why an American who doesn't speak German decided to come and buy property sight unseen on a small island off the north coast of Germany and not speaking the language and all that. I don't super want to talk about it, but I guess I owe at least a little explanation. I'm trying to figure out what the next chapter of my life looks like. It's September now, and back in March, my wife passed away. Very boring health stuff. Cancer. Cancer sucks. I hate cancer. Everybody hates cancer. It was really hard staying in our house, being around all of our stuff, going to all the places we used to go together, and I wasn't really dealing with it very well. And I know they say don't make big decisions after a loved one passes away, and this definitely qualifies as one. Selling my house and moving to a country where I don't speak the language, and it's not even a nearby flight to get back home again. I guess this is my home now. I gotta shift that mindset. But I needed some sort of dramatic shakeup. Whatever I was trying to do before wasn't working. So the money I had when I came here is from her life insurance policy, and that's almost all gone. And I am trying to sell our house, but that's not the fastest process. Mortgage rates are kind of high in the United States right now, and property is not selling as quickly as it did a few years ago. So I'm just sort of waiting to find a buyer, and eventually that money will come in. I may have to put some more money into the house back home to sell it. Nope, this is home now. Get used to that. I may need to put some money into the old house to sell it. I'm still sort of waiting to see, once the real estate agent has it listed for a little while, what the outcome is going to look like. I don't really want to do the work I used to do. I worked in tech. I stared at a computer all day. Tech pays well, but you know, there are some things about it that are difficult to deal with. Like layoffs whenever trends go around the industry and it's the cost-saving thing to do. And God help you if your company is publicly traded, because then everything is about shareholder value. So, I don't really want to do that anymore. I want something different. And you can't get much more different from staring at a screen all day every day to being outside, working the land, raising animals, and living someplace where you don't speak the language and don't know anyone. This is definitely going to be a reboot. I'll tell you what though, I definitely miss the coffee back home. The way they make it here, it's very different. And I actually had a very nice espresso machine in my house back home. Spent a lot of money, kind of a ridiculous amount of money buying it, so I could make my own lattes using the coffee beans that I really liked. And I miss that. The bakery here in town isn't the same. Alright. I'm just about done here, so I think I will do the rest of this and get this back to the farm. And I don't think I'm going to unload it right now. It's not quite 10 a.m. It'll probably be 10:15 or 10:30 by the time I get back home with this. So maybe I'll find time to get some sort of equipment over here and start preparing for the next crop. I don't know. I would like to get it in the ground before the end of the month. We'll see. I'll do the rest of that off camera and I'll bring you back in when there's something more interesting to show than me picking up bales and rambling at you. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I made good time finishing up that bale moving, and I was able to rent this cultivator from one of the other farmers on the other island. Actually, he's got a slightly bigger field. This is a Rolmako. So this thing has wheels. It's what they call a semi-trailed, I guess because the wheels hold it up off the ground when you drive it. It is about as big as I can fit on this tractor at 3 meters, which it's not super wide, but given the size of this field, that's probably fine. I spoke with the farmers who own both of these fields before I bought them. This one is in good shape. He just plowed and limed it before he planted this last season, so this should be fine to go for this season, maybe another season after that. The smaller field up on the other side of that farm, I guess used to belong to that farm, and that farmer isn't there anymore. They moved to the mainland and they're not farming anymore, but they said that they have not plowed or limed that field recently, so it's going to need to have both of those things done. And since I'm going to have to plow it anyway, I will want to extend it, and so then I'll have to lime the whole thing. So that's going to be a bigger project. I don't have time to do that this month. So I'm just going to cultivate this, and then I can seed it right away, and then I'll be ready for this. The reason it matters is I can't do this next month. I can't do any planting next month. The locals have told me that in the fall, the islands are subject to really bad storm surge, and it is probably going to be... There will likely be days where I can't even leave my property because of flooding. So I may not be able to work these fields at all next month. And they have told me very strongly, do not leave equipment over here. Everything, I don't know if you noticed as I've been driving around, all the farmsteads are on a little bit higher ground. All these fields are not. So these fields may get submerged depending on the storm surge. And I cannot leave equipment here or it will get damaged. So I'm trying to get as much as I can done this month. Next month, I'm not going to be able to do any field work. Then maybe the month after, depending on how that goes, that'll be November, late in the season. Maybe I can get a cut off of that grass I'm growing for the sheep. So maybe I can get the sheep and chickens set up this winter. That is my hope. But for now, I'm going to get this cultivated, and then I don't know how much time the video is going to take for this month with all the stuff I've already done. So I might just do this cultivating and then finish for the month. So maybe I won't talk to you again until... Oh, you know what? I'm going to do another video. I'll do another video with the rest of the farm work tomorrow or something. I just want to get this cultivator back across before high tide. So I will do this cultivating, and then after the time lapse, I guess I won't see you again until next time. I will talk to you later, but enjoy more farm work happening. Okay, well, the cultivating is all done, but I swear I drove over my neighbor's crop here a couple times. I tried to do the extra rows at the end here to give myself space to turn around, but that machine trailed behind the tractor is quite long. The tractor itself is quite long, so I'm pretty sure I damaged the edge of these crops here. I think I might have also done that when I was driving the harvester around. So probably I should figure out who owns this field and offer to pay them for any crops I've damaged here. I don't really want to get off on the wrong foot with the people on the island here. It's, I guess I didn't think about it too closely, but being a newcomer to the island in general makes me a curiosity. And being an American here and not speaking German and not a farmer who has decided to start farming, there are a lot of things about me being here that has made the island residents curious, and maybe, I don't know, some of them probably think I'm a little bit soft in the head. They've been coming around a lot, the house, just sort of introducing themselves, which is nice, but also it kind of feels like they've been wanting to just get a look at me. Let me just tell you a little bit as I take this back. Yeah, I think in part they're just sort of coming around to try to figure out what my deal is. I'm sure they're talking about me behind my back, because when I went to go to the bakery in town, where I've been going a lot, there's a couple who runs the shop, a nice German man, and he's got a wife who I think is from India. They were saying some stuff. They said something to me that I had said to one of the other neighbors about why I was here, what I was doing, or whatever. But I hadn't told them that. So I know people in town are talking about me, which I don't love. I kind of came here to be alone. I felt really lonely back in my old life, so I thought I would just be alone, and then it would be okay to be lonely, because I wouldn't know anybody anyway. Actually, I need to take this to... I'll take this back to the farm right now. I need to take this back to the farmer who I rented it from. I paid like $800 to rent this cultivator. I'll get it back to them a little later. I need to go pick up fertilizer for my little fertilizer spreader so I can fertilize that grass field. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, I have seemingly become a point of curiosity for the locals, and that's bad enough, but I can take curiosity, I guess. If they decide I'm a problem, a troublemaker, somebody who doesn't care about the community, that would be bad. I don't want to try to claw my way back from some sort of deficit in opinion about me. I already have enough things counting against me here. So, I'm going to have to figure out who owns that field and make reparations for the damage I've done. Which, again, given the limited amount of money I have, I don't feel great about. But it's the right thing to do anyway. So yeah, I will get this dropped off here in the yard. Actually, I think I'll just use that other tractor. I'll keep this hooked up. I'll keep that on there so I can take it back to the farmer who I borrowed it from. And I'll get this tractor hooked up. I guess I gotta get this lime spreader emptied out, put the lime somewhere so I can use it to spread fertilizer. Yeah. I'll see you when I'm ready to get that job done. See you soon. Okay, well, I'm over here at the shop, and I've spent some more money. This thing, so I was explaining to the woman who runs the equipment sales that I don't have a way to pick up pallets and things. And I needed to buy this fertilizer, which you can get in a bag or in a pallet like this. And I was planning to get just a bag like this lime is, except I don't have a way to deal with this either. She told me I could get this thing, which attaches to the 3-point hitch on the tractor, and it uses hydraulics to sort of raise and lift this frame and extend these pallet forks so I can actually pick up pallets. Now, there are a couple other things I might have gotten instead, but I need to be able to move the pallets for the greenhouse things that I'm growing, the lettuce and the tomatoes, and also the honey pallets that I'm putting together as I harvest the honey from the bees. So I'm going to need something that I can use to actually pick up pallets and like lift them high enough to put them on a flatbed to transport them for sale. So this was probably my best option. Unfortunately, it cost $10,000, and the fertilizer was another $2,000 for that one little container. So there goes my money. This is feeling tight to me already, and I still have to buy grass work equipment and the animals. I'm gonna have to figure that part out. I think we're probably getting to the point where this is getting to be a long video, so I'll probably just take this back and maybe I'll record the spreading the fertilizer but not put it in this episode. Maybe I'll put it in the next episode. So yeah, this is what I'm doing for the rest of my day and doing some cleaning up around the yard. And I'll record something new tomorrow. I'm hoping to get a seeder and get out across to that other field that I cultivated and get that seeded tomorrow. So, and rolled, I guess. They told me I need to do that too afterward. So much equipment. I can't possibly buy it all. Alright, I will see you next time. Ta-ta for now.